Catherine, and I came to her highly recommended by Richard, our lawyer, by Sam, that puts the symposium Growing Families together. And Catherine seemed to me that she wasn't a business, that she was doing that out of love, out of passion. Our values were aligned from day dot. She had twins herself. I thought, well, she will get me. She will understand what I'm going through. At that same time, Aaron was also doing his thing, and we were talking to each other, and it made sense for us that, based on the research that we conducted, that Catherine was the best agency for us to pursue this big endeavor.
Tons of research prior, tons and tons of research. Reaching out to people that have been through similar journeys, reaching out to different organizations. We'd encountered many before we made this decision, and going through the weeds on cost processes and paperwork and who's all inclusive, who is partially inclusive. Like it was quite an experience actually. And the one thing I would recommend anyone doing this is don't be afraid of the research. Actually spend the time, because you need to be able to trust in the organisation you're working with. For me, and I think it might be different for you, the catalyst for me was actually our lawyer, Richard Vaughan from International Fertility Law Group, who I trusted and I'd spoken to many years before when I was kind of considering this, had recommended that Catherine and her team were the best and the ones that could help us get the outcome that we wanted, and had the most experience as well. So it felt like with that endorsement, someone you trust, endorsing someone they trust, that it was kind of the dots connected just right. And that decision was made right as kind of we were ready to kind of go. So for me, that was what the tipping point was in the decision-making process.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel not only the recommendation of Richard that I was able to meet face-to-face, that for me came across just like Catherine, someone that had gone through the process, that had kids through IVF, also a pioneer many years ago. It definitely helped me to resonate with him, right? Another gay dad that has done that when no one else was doing. And I asked him, look, there are so many here, who do you like working the most? And obviously, very unethical of me to ask that, because borderline unprofessional. But I was like, just between us here, like, please, as a friend, who would it be? And he said to me something I never forget. He said, look, Catherine and her partner don't run this like a business. They run this like family. Like and we felt that from Catherine. To a point that I remember at some time during the process we thought, Catherine, we've decided we're no longer gonna go with true surrogates, even though our IVF doctor has advised us, if you guys have the means, do true surrogates. It's better for the baby, they're gonna develop, they're gonna have more room, it's less risk pregnancy. So if you guys have the means, do true surrogates, concurrent journeys as opposed to one. Then I remember at some point we, now you're looking at double the costs, right? And I talking with Catherine, and I said, Catherine, we decided we're gonna follow our hearts and we're gonna go with the twins and we're gonna embrace the risk. And Catherine was like, no you won't, because I had twins and mine were born premature, and each day in an ICV was in excess of $10,000. So we had to mortgage our house. So she was sharing very solid personal information.
I think that was the most important thing. She separated the commercial part of it and broke it down into human, personal terms.
That for us, we were like, okay, well, she really has her heart invested in whatever is best, not only for our children, but also what is best for us, because it is overwhelming. You have so many people there, like so many different providers all around the world. When I asked him, I said, look, out of everyone here, because look, the fact that they are the business owners and Catherine is here herself, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That means that she wants to know the people that they're going to work with. And I agree.
Yeah.
I have been an entrepreneur as well, and I think it's very important that you know your clients, that you understand what they're going through, to the point that we do have Catherine's mobile.
Yeah. Which we've used many times.
It would be quite often during the process that we would WhatsApp her, say, Catherine, can we please jump in a call?
In the middle of the
night. She was like, I'm about to serve dinner to my kids, but yes, just be quick.
But I think that point's valid, because it's rare that you work with organisations where the people that you're working with are experiencing or have experienced what you're going through. it's on one hand to kind of build a business around an opportunity, but it's another to kind of have lived and breathed that prior. And it wasn't until actually we were maybe, 3 months in, and we realised that our case manager, Heather, was a surrogate herself, pregnant with twins. And it blew our mind. It was like, no wonder we forged this incredibly deep partnership with her, because she's living and breathing our lives physically herself, which in itself was quite incredible and
comforting as well.
And gives the organisation amazing credibility, because you can always say, well, hang on a minute, they've got someone who's actually experiencing this right now, why don't you go and have a chat with them? It made us feel like we were in the right hands from the onset all the way through till now as well.